What if I told you $20,000 isn't just a random savings goal? It is a calculated survival metric. Specifically, 3.8 months of your life. Meet Anthony. He earns $5,400 a month. In scenario A, a $400 car repair is a crisis that forces him to swipe a credit card and enter the debt cycle. In scenario B, he has the exact same job and the exact same bills, but he possesses the solvency shield. While Anthony A is forced to pay the system a distress tax, Anthony B collects interest while he sleeps. This isn't just about saving money. It's about escaping the extraction zone. I'm going to decode the exact math behind this number, expose the banking traps designed to keep you at zero, and hand you the 4-step framework to reclaim your financial sovereignty using today's interest rates. The economic machine is engineered to keep you fragile. They don't want you to have $20,000. They want you on the edge because that is where they extract the most profit. Let's look at the hard data the institutions use to bet against you. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics 2025 release, the median American salary is exactly $5,213 per month. Do the math, and $20,000 represents nearly 4 months, 3.8 to be precise, of total income replacement. This is your buffer against the algorithm, but the system is winning. The Bankrate 2026 Emergency Savings Report confirms a terrifying reality. Only 30% of Americans can cover a $1,000 emergency from cash reserves. That means 70% of the population is one bad week away from becoming a hostage to high-interest debt. This fragility isn't an accident. It is a design feature. When you live in survival mode, your brain focuses only on the immediate threat, the rent, the groceries, the gas. You cannot plan, you cannot invest, and you certainly cannot negotiate. You are raw material for the credit industry. Let's go back to Anthony to see how this plays out in the real world. Meet Anthony. He is 31, works in IT in Dallas, and brings home $5,400 a month. To the naked eye, he looks stable. But look closer at his balance sheet. In the first timeline, Anthony has $0 in the bank. His expenses are $3,900, leaving him theoretically with money left over. But life doesn't follow a spreadsheet. His transmission blows. Cost, $400. Because he has no shield, he swipes a credit card. He tells himself he'll pay it off next month, but the interest creates a drag. Then rent goes up. Then a medical copay hits. Within 6 months, that single $400 emergency has compounded into a permanent monthly debt payment. He is now working for the bank. Now look at Anthony in the second timeline. Same job, same $400 transmission. Failure. But this Anthony built the buffer. He pays cash. No interest triggers. No stress hormone spike. No panic. In fact, because his $20,000 is sitting in a high yield account, he earned $70 in interest that same month, effectively lowering the cost of the repair. This is the difference between being a victim of the economy and being a participant in it. The system is betting you will stay like Anthony A, reactive, stressed, and profitable. If that feels familiar, if you feel like you are working harder just to stay in the same place, acknowledge that reality right now. That is your starting point. Now, let's dismantle their trap. Here is the 4-step framework to build your solvency shield, derived from the mechanics of the banking system itself. Step 1 is optimization. The banking cartel profits from your inertia. They rely on you leaving your money in a standard checking or savings account that pays next to nothing. This is not passive income for you. It is passive theft by them. Let's look at the numbers. As of February 2026, the FDIC national average for savings accounts is a pathetic 0.39%. If you park your $20,000 there, you earn about $78 a year. Now look at the competitors they don't want you to find. Online banks like Newtek are offering up to 4.35% APY. That same $20,000 now earns you roughly $870 a year. That is a difference of nearly $800 annually. That is money the traditional banks are effectively stealing from you simply because you haven't clicked a few buttons. This is the ignorance tax. Your first move is to stop paying it. Move your money to where it is treated like capital, not like a hostage. Step 2 is establishing your baseline. You cannot fight an enemy you cannot see, and you cannot build wealth if you don't know your burn rate. We aren't talking about skipping lattes. We are talking about survival metrics. According to Numbeo's January 2026 data, the average cost of living for a single person in the U.S., excluding rent, hovers between $1,100 and $1,500. This is your floor. Your rent is your variable. To build the shield, you need to know exactly what your survival number is. Calculate it down to the dollar. This isn't budgeting. This is defensive architecture. Step 3 is acceleration. This is where we break the timeline. If you rely solely on your primary salary, the system is designed to keep you saving at a snail's pace. Just enough to handle a flat tire. Never enough to escape. You need to inject velocity into the equation. Let's run the calculation with a character named Jasmine. She works in marketing, earning $4,950 a month. After rent and student loans, she can squeeze out $200 a month for savings. At that rate, it will take her 100 months, over 8 years, to reach her $20,000 shield. The system loves this. 8 years is a long time for life to go wrong. Now, watch what happens if Jasmine adds a single high-velocity variable, a $500 monthly side hustle. She isn't changing her career. She's just selling a skill. Now she saves $700 a month. Her timeline to freedom drops from 8 years to just 28 months. She slashed her sentence in the economic prison by nearly 70%. That is the power of acceleration. If you are currently stuck on one of these steps, whether it's finding the right bank, fixing your budget, finding a hustle, or starting to invest, comment below with the word bank, budget, hustle, or invest. Let's see where the system is hitting us the hardest. Step 4 is evolution. Once you hit that $20,000 mark, the game changes. You stop saving and start investing. This is where you switch from playing defense to playing offense. You move from the high-yield savings account to the Roth IRA or 401k. You stop worrying about the price of eggs and start worrying about asset allocation. But you cannot get there without the shield first. Now let's talk about what actually happens when you cross this threshold. The banks don't want you to know this, but money changes your brain chemistry. Primerica's Q4 2025 Financial Security Monitor found that 49% of families list their top goal as just keeping up with costs. That is a scarcity mindset. That is a brain in panic mode. When you have $20,000 in the bank, you physically exit that statistic. You stop keeping up and start moving up. Take Amelia, a nurse in Phoenix. Before her buffer, she tolerated a toxic work environment because she lived paycheck to paycheck. She was terrified of the 2-week gap between jobs. She was compliant because she was vulnerable. Once she built her $20,000 shield, the power dynamic flipped. She didn't buy a luxury car. She bought the ability to say no. She quit the toxic job without another one lined up, used her buffer to float for a month, and found a position that paid 20% more. The buffer, it allowed her to take a risk that paid off. That is what we are fighting for. Not a number on a screen, but the authority to own your own life. If you are ready to stop being a statistic and start building this shield, comment "I'm in" right now. Let's solidify that commitment. We have exposed the trap. We know the math. $20,000 is 3.8 months of freedom. We have the method. Optimize your yield to 4.35%. Determine your baseline. Accelerate with side income. And evolve into an investor. And we have the mindset. You are building a wall between you and the chaos of the economy. The banks are betting on your silence. They are betting you will watch this, nod your head, and do absolutely nothing. They profit when we stay paralyzed. Let's make them lose that bet. Tonight, check your interest rate. If it starts with a 0, move it. Within 30 days, calculate your survival number. This is our money. Let's take it back. If you are done being a hostage to the algorithm, subscribe. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to turn this $20,000 shield into a $100,000 wealth engine. Join the resistance against algorithmic extraction. This video is for educational purposes only, not personal financial advice. All data is from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Bankrate, NerdWallet, Numbeo, and Primerica, as of early 2026. Products mentioned are examples, not recommendation. Consult a licensed financial advisor for your specific situation.